Inshallah, I will try to be live with you tomorrow, everybody. But for now, what's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. Greetings to you, wherever you're watching and listening to me from. I just wanted to come very quickly and take just a few minutes of your time. This will not be long, inshallah. I wanted an excuse to come and let you know that I did get my webcam. That's why this sounds better than the disastrous last video that I put out. And so I've gotten that. Sadly, I wasn't able to be live with you today because I had a lot of things to take care of. And as I've said to you all, I am still trying to help our sister and my godson in North Carolina. They're homeless. I again make the appeal. The GoFundMe link is underneath the video, as well as the Cash App. If you would like to help her in any way, by Allah, I swear to you, it will be of great help. Whatever you can do. But this was perfect for me because we dealt with the murder of Sandra Massey recently. And what was so striking about her murder was that these two white devils, who she had called to come to her home because she didn't feel safe and she felt like she had heard somebody, maybe an intruder or whatever. And you saw the interaction that these demons had with her. And in an instant, they murdered her. And I have made and will continue to make the case, because it is the truth. And that case was illustrative of the fact that white people can grin and smile in your face and then stab you in the back or shoot you in the face. This I randomly came across on Twitter. Hear what this sister has to say, because I thought, all I could think was, oh my God, Sandra Massey. Oh my God, Sandra Massey. I couldn't even think of it. That's the only thing that would come to me. It was so that. But this is our experience. It's one of our many, many, many experiences with these people, or this entity. So hear what this sister had to say.
When I see a white person, a white man, or a white woman, the first thing I'll start thinking, what do that white person want from me? Because I feel in the back of my mind that they don't mean me any good. They never have meant me any good. So why should I believe that they mean me any good now? There have been times that I wouldn't let a white person in my home, and it hasn't been too very long ago. Because a white man is a funny thing. He'll laugh and talk with you today, this minute. And the next thing you know, he cut your throat. And I don't mean with a knife. I mean with words, with anything he can hurt you with. But he'll make you think that he's your friend. And that all the while he's trying to make you believe that he's your friend. He's the worst enemy you could have.
The truth has been spoken. But you see, that's not all. That was then. Like, I don't know what year that's from. But this is now. And I you know, they just, their mascot of white supremacy and white evil just won, and now they're still going to start their shit. So if they had lost, they would start shit. If they win, they start shit. This is the nature of white people. You can always count on them to fuck up everything, to ruin a situation, to bring confusion, to bring war, famine, murder, and violence. This is who they are, man. This is who they are. There's no running away from their damn shadow. Hear this now. The bastard won, and they're already putting out death threats. You see? Because they want license to be the evil demons that they are. This is why humanity does not move forward, and when it does, it's very slow and incrementally, because these people are the fucking ball and chain upon goddamn humanity. I mean that shit. Because it is the truth. I didn't just self-appoint, and I'm not an oracle, and I pulled this out of a crystal ball. I've lived on this earth, and I've lived all across this damn country. And I know them at every stage. From McDonald's to the Fortune 500 corporate office. Hear this.
In the days following Donald Trump's landslide victory against Kamala Harris, anonymous text messages containing racist rhetoric are raising alarms in multiple states. The texts that were sent to black men, women, and even children have prompted investigations from the FBI and other federal agencies.
So we know it's white people. Of course. Of course.
Here's an example of one of the texts sent to an Alabama college student. Greetings. You've been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation. Be ready at 1 p.m. sharp with your belongings. Our executive slaves will come get you in a brown van. Be prepared to be searched down once you've entered the plantation. We're not exactly dealing with the smartest people. You are in plantation group C. Good day. Tasha Dunham of
This is why I say we are not for gun control as African people. You understand? That Second Amendment accidentally is written for us. Because we're not the violent people on the earth. We have a whole continent of 1.5 billion people. Africa has never started a war with anybody. Just like black people don't start shit with nobody, whether they're here in America or they're in the Caribbean or they're in Brazil, they're in the diaspora, it doesn't matter. The violent entity on this damn planet is white people. Pig skin colored people. Not going to call them white. Not going to insult the color of white. Pig skin people are the problem. So all black people need to be armed. Period. By hook or by goddammit crook. Hear this.
Lodi, California, said her 16-year-old daughter showed her one of the messages Wednesday evening before her basketball practice. The text not only used her daughter's name, but it directed her to report to a plantation in North Carolina where Dunham said they've never lived. When they looked at the address, it was the location of a museum.
This is why I can never, ever, 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 ever trust or befriend these people like the lady was saying in my opening piece. Can't do it. Can't do it. Because they hide like leprechauns and they grin in your face like a demon, like a shapeshifter. You understand? When I lived in Arkansas for a while when I was growing up, my family lived in Arkansas for a while, and I had to fight damn near every single day because their children are born evil. And they come to school with all this pablum and vomit. Do you understand? So there is no like, oh, we can't say all white people are bad. This is the same fiction that they give you when you see every single time one of us is murdered by these paid murderers, these state murderers in Halloween police costumes. Well, you can't say all police are bad, but it just happens that every fucking time it's somebody white killing somebody black. It's never an epidemic of us shooting their white ass. Oh, I thought the white bitch was going for a gun, but it was only her hair clip. Oh, I thought she was reaching for a gun, but she was doing that dumb fucking hair toss that they do, even when there's not hair in their face. Oh, I thought she was going for a gun, but it was just her flip-flop. Oh, I didn't know. I was afraid for my life. We don't have it. This is how we know it's on purpose. It's on purpose. And where, I ask you now, where have we ever seen a spontaneous uprising by just hundreds and thousands of white people saying we're just over the brutality against African people in this nation? You've never seen it, and you won't, because they're all the damn same. When we get out in the streets and march, here they come with their backpacks and they're suddenly an ally in all of it. Nah. If you only say I love you every time I say it to you, you don't love me. It should be spontaneous from you. I never hear it, and I'm supposed to believe you love me? Or it's like somebody that never calls you. You only hear from them when you call them. This is that. It's worse than that, quite frankly. So I don't have any obligation, nor am I, or any requirement to like these damn people. I don't, and I won't. Hear this.
Not only used her daughter's name, but it directed her to report to a plantation in North Carolina where Dunham said they've never lived. When they looked at the address, it was the location of a museum. Now, according to the Associated Press, the messages have been reported in several states, including California, New York, Alabama, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee.
Look at that. Look at all them states. Just like police brutality is all across this bitch. Being denied the value of your home when you're trying to sell is all across this bitch. Don't tell me it's just in the South or it's anywhere. Hear this. Hear this. Hear this. Anywhere on any speck of dirt on this planet we call Earth, where there are pig-colored people, there is problems for whoever else is there that don't look like them. That is a fact. That is a fact. They are spontaneously evil. Just the fact that he read all those states, you think they called each other from each state and said, we're going to do this? No. All dogs lick their ass. You understand? They don't have to go to any other dog and another dog says, you know, you're supposed to lick your ass. You're supposed to do that. You feel me? They just do it. So evil and hate from white people is spontaneous to the individual. They all share the same instincts. That's why it's important for the rest of humanity, especially African people, to understand that there are species of human beings. Just like Allah shows you there are many varieties of butterflies. All butterflies are not the same. All birds are not the same. A zebra is not the same as a Clydesdale horse. And on and on. Every fish that's in the sea, they're all fish, but nobody mistakes a carp for a catfish. So we are singular, unique, and different than this entity, whatever they are. Whatever they are not like us. They are not like us, and indeed they're not like humanity. That's my finding. Here are the states he was saying.
The messages have been reported in several states, including California, New York, Alabama, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee.
Boom. That covers the entire country. That covers the entire country. Don't ever tell me a damn thing about these people. Don't do it. Don't do it.
However, Reuters reports that people in at least 21 states have received these texts.
Boom. 21. I hadn't even heard all of this. 21 states, at least.
They vary with the wording, but generally used a similar tone.
Because they're all the same. Go on.
Additionally, some of the texts mentioned the Trump administration. It was not immediately clear who sent the messages, and there is no complete list of whom they were delivered to.
Oh, it's immediately clear that it's white people. So that's immediately clear. We don't need the name and the gender, just anybody white, period, of any age, of any age, of any age.
At least some appear to have been sent through text now in what the company believes is a widespread, coordinated attack, it told CNN on Friday. The FBI also put out a statement yesterday stating they're aware of the matter and working with the DOJ and other federal authorities. The FCC's Enforcement Bureau is investigating the texts. FCC Chair Jessica Rosenworcel announced. These messages are unacceptable, she said, adding, we take this type of targeting very seriously. However, law enforcement in certain areas consider these messages a low-level threat, despite the emotional and psychological impact it has, especially on younger recipients. Look, we just talked.
And I have to make the observation that you see the degradation in the society when a grown man is sitting up wearing a shirt with pink flowers on it. I mean, I just can't do it, everybody. I mean, I can't even do it. Let's go on.
Talk about maybe the differences between 2016 Trump administration and now. This is one of the similarities. We saw a wave of racist outbursts
from white
after
people.
Trump got elected in 2016. This is just a rerun of the past. Cenk, what do you think?
This is why they had such fear and loathing when Obama was elected. Because they thought we were going to do what we actually should have done to their white ass. We should have been gloating and in their face and fuck you, white bitch, we the president now and all that. But we don't have that in our hearts. That's not who we are as a people. I suggest we need to find that bone. But alas, this is what they love to do. In their mind, whiteness won. Ha ha. See, niggers, we won. See, ha ha. And they want to rub it in our face. I already saw a video, at least one. I think I saw two. But there was one where the dude was laying flat on his ass because the brother had knocked him the fuck out because he came with this bullshit. We not the people from 1865, motherfucker. You approach and you will get stepped on like a roach. The roach that you are. Understand that detail. I had to bring this. This is who they are. And that's going to be the truth, whether they like it or not. And they are an entity that likes to try to live in a fantasy and act like reality doesn't exist and shit. Well, it does. It does. The truth is known. And I'm speaking it. And that's something that white people are going to have to deal with. This is not our responsibility. And we don't have any responsibility for any ass hurt that they may feel when their character is being described and highlighted and shown. They're going to have to deal with that. And sadly, we're dealing with a people who don't like to be told anything unwonderful about themselves. You know, as Malcolm X said, they're just not agreeable. They can't get along with anybody. They can't get along with anybody. You know, when we look at what's happening in Gaza, you know, we're supposed to believe that these people were kicked out of every place they went because everybody only hated them because they were Jews. That's the only reason anybody hated them. I just knew, just as a human being, and you don't have to even be brilliant. You don't have to have been to Harvard and Yale and Princeton. You just have to have a brain. If anybody told you that, somebody shows up at your house. Let's say you live in a housing tract and there's 500 homes, and this person is knocking on your door, and they say, "Can you please help me? I went to all 500 of these homes in this tract, and nobody would help me." That would be extraordinary, remarkable, even. And so, no matter what you thought of them right there in that moment, there's going to be a question mark in the back of your mind going, nobody helped you out of all 500 homes you went to? Nobody? Nobody. Then, well, was everybody at home? Did you come across homes that nobody was there? And they go, no, everybody was home. I got an answer at every house, but no one would help me. That would be remarkable. That would be remarkable. And at some point, your intellect is going to go, well, maybe there's something about you that they didn't help. You presenting to me now, I don't really see a reason why I wouldn't help you, but it still is remarkable to me that out of 500 other homes, nobody helped. Nobody helped. And as you begin to talk to the person, you begin to see different flaws and things like that. And there's deception, and you start to feel some distrust, maybe even a little threatened and some things. And you go, I don't know. I don't know if I can help you, you know. And oh my God, turns out they have a gun, you know. So I just instinctively, whenever I've heard that over my life, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. There must be something, you know. As Black African people, we know when we're being denied or rejected or being shown shade or something like that. It's because we are Black African people. You know when you're in a situation where they're doing this or that because I'm Black. We know it. We know it like we know our name. We know it. We know it like a mama knows her child. We know it. So I just instinctively knew something has to be amiss here. Something does not, and it wasn't until in the last, couple months that I began to finally get that answer. And particularly when I saw the speech that I told you all I wanted you to go and watch. I told you to type into YouTube the following. Type in Hitler, freedom or slavery speech in English and hit enter. There's two versions. One has some music playing under it, which they should be shot for that. And the other one doesn't. But in this speech, my answer begins to be revealed to me because I juxtapose what he says in that speech to what I know historically and what I see currently. And that is, when I look at American society, we see a total infiltration of these people. There they are, running the Federal Reserve. There they are, running the banks. There they are, running the entertainment industry. There they are, owning media, both print and digital. There they are. When I look at every elected official speaks about their allegiance to these people as if it's their own mother. or as if there's somebody just off camera with a gun to their head and their mother is being held hostage. And they have to say this, that they're so pledging their allegiance to Israel in a way we don't even hear them pledge their allegiance to this nation even. You just have to look and hear, and something is amiss there. What's going on? Why? What's the deal? When I look at AIPAC and every single person that runs for office has to go and stand before AIPAC and swear their allegiance on a drop of blood to this place, this illegal land heist in Palestine known as Israel. You begin to think, if I live on earth, I have a human right to evaluate my atmosphere, to evaluate my surroundings and the society in which I live, because it affects me. And I'm not going to have anyone telling me what assessment I need to be making out of my own common sense. I don't allow this. I don't allow it. And when I look at congressional races, and now this AIPAC entity and others associated with it are now boldly out of the closet saying, we're going to throw all of our money behind the candidate we want to discourage the candidate that the people want. That anybody that doesn't pledge their allegiance to us, we will invest and sidetrack you so that you will not be successful. This is deliberate tampering with American elections. It's deliberate and bold and arrogant even, suggesting also to the observer that this person has a confidence that there will be no consequence for their nefarious action. And when I see that being allowed and sanctioned by my own government, a great suspicion arises in my soul and in my being. And indeed, more questioning is provoked, more suspicion is arisen. So when I juxtapose that to this speech where Hitler is saying that they're trying to infect Eastern Europe and Germany, that this is what they were doing. It's one of the many reasons why he wanted these people out. And then we see that that was the case in the 100+ places that they were thrown out of. He highlights how they stick together, they pool their money, they defend each other, they are one cohesive group, acting with an agenda. And everyone has thrown them out because of that. Let the record also show that they were never thrown out of an Arab or Muslim country. They were not only taken in, but they were given status in the society even. So there's never been an issue for Arabs and Muslims with these people. They bring destruction wherever they go and ill intent. And just as one evidence, I give you Exhibit A. I give you Gaza, where now they have murdered off over 200,000 people and counting. That they've begun murdering off thousands in Lebanon. That they're provoking with Iran. This, in modern day language, is a shit starter, not a holy and chosen people. Not even going to get into the fact that the Israelites of the Quran, the Bena Israel of the Quran, Torah, and Scripture are black Israelites. Black Israelites, not some white people from Eastern Europe. Give me a break. That's as ridiculous as if I now go on CNN and proclaim, I'm Asian. I'm a Chinese. I am. Look, it's me. I'm Chinese. First thing people gonna do is say, you you a black dude. You a black dude. Maybe your mama was pregnant and last minute she was visiting China and had your little ass in China, but that don't make you Chinese. So you need to cleanse and you need to reflect and you might need some medication. We're worried about your mental state of being and your wellness overall. Do you understand? So I digress. So white people have to reconcile and deal with and carry the burden of their own evil. They need to ask themselves why, when I see a Vietnamese person, I don't feel the same way about the Vietnamese person that I feel about the white person. The Vietnamese have never tried to oppress me. They didn't steal my language and my culture and my life. They're not pillaging and raping the resources out of my motherland of Africa. They have not written laws to oppress me. They have not defined my very existence as being 3/5 of a fucking human being. The Vietnamese hasn't done it. The Arab has not done it. The Samoan has not done it. The Japanese have not done it. The Latino has not done it. The Aborigine has not done it. The Native American has not done it. The only people who have done this and continue to do this to me and my people have pig-colored skin. And it's not just the crimes against my forefathers and foremothers and my ancestry. It is current day. And so I bring us full circle to say this woman's proclamation, and given the quality of the video and the look of it, looks like it was probably sometime maybe in the 50s, 60s, 70s or something. It's an older piece, I feel. But her testimony matches mine in 2024. That truth, her experience, is still the experience. It is still the behavior of white people. Right now, as I speak at this moment in 2024, that it is still the truth. It is still the truth. And the recent case of Sonia Massey being murdered and shot in the face in her own home by two white devils backs up this woman's statement. Deal with that. And since I'm speaking of this demon, I feel it appropriate anytime, quite frankly, when what you think or say or experience and know to be the truth is spoken by the one that you're indicting. So let's hear from this dude. I think what he has to say is quite valuable. Let's go.
Well, it's 2 days after the election, and yesterday I had a really hard time trying to pinpoint why I don't think I've ever felt more heartbroken and hopeless as I do now. There have been a lot of times in my life when I've been disappointed, when I've been depressed, when I've been angry, but I have never felt these things to the depth that I felt yesterday. But I gave it some thought, and I think I figured it out. The reason I'm so heartbroken, destroyed, and absolutely disgusted with the results of this election is that it invalidates everything I have ever been taught about how I should live my life and everything I've tried to teach my kids. So it's an absolute betrayal to realize at 57 years of age that when it comes really down to it, over half of this country really doesn't value the notions of being kind, being generous, loving your neighbor, being accepting, having empathy, showing understanding, being truthful, being ethical in business, being sensible and level-headed, not being a bully, not being selfish, and not being a total asshole. And because I've been taught these things my entire life, it's really easy for me to see that Donald Trump is a vile and despicable human being. He exhibits everything that I have been taught to set my sights against in order to be a good functioning member of society. But now, over half our country supports this person and believes that he's the one who's going to make America great. Well, hey, here's a secret. Someone who has worked so hard at sowing discord is never going to do anything to unite us. That's his big lie, because he doesn't benefit from Americans coming together. He and all the Tucker Carlsons and Alex Jones out there, they profit from the rage that they're able to manufacture. So don't tell me it's okay if we disagree, as if this is akin to our individual preferences for wine or toilet paper. This is not a simple disagreement. This is you telling me that the values I've held dear my entire life have no meaning or place in the real world. This is you telling me that I should be shrewd, deceptive, cruel, and intolerant. This is you telling me that the type of person you really admire and look up to is a rich, entitled, narcissistic, criminally convicted pussy grabber.
Perfect.
And if you're one of those guys out there that likes Trump because, well, he says what's on his mind, he tells it like he sees it, he doesn't have a filter. Yeah.
That part kills me. I just like that Trump speaks what's on his mind. He just says he doesn't have filter. He just tells it. He's not politically correct. He just tells it how it is. That's why I love Trump, really, bitch. Because when we speak what's on our mind, you don't like that. You like if somebody is espousing the same vomit and puke and evil vile that you have in your soul. But when we tell the truth about your white ass without any filter, you don't like that. Because you want to be told only things that make you feel like you're perfect and wonderful. You see, they kill me with that. We've all heard that. Well, I just like that Trump just he says what's on his mind, as if he's the first human being that came to Earth that said exactly what he felt and thought. I'm over it. Miss me with that.
Sometimes you need a filter.
Yes.
There was a time, not that long ago, when being an asshole wasn't cool. If you were a shitty person, you just kept a lot of that to yourself, and society was all the better for it. But now it's all, let's make America great again. And what I'd like to know is, what specific time in American history are you talking about? What
Amen.
year exactly?
Amen.
Because for a lot of folks, this right now, this current time in American history is the greatest. And you know that. And for some reason, you don't like it. It's like this crazy idea that giving certain rights to someone else somehow takes some of yours away.
I love that, because what's the saying? Equality feels like oppression to white people. Equality for everybody feels like oppression for white people. I love that quote.
Or are you just pissed that you're not special anymore?
Right. Because you'll remember, see, they're fine. Oh, we're all the same. We're all equal. We should all get along as long as they feel like they still got one up on you. You see, they would have sang that song forever as long as, well, they'll never be president. So we'll always have that over them. We'll always be superior until Barack Obama became president of this bitch. They were devastated because now we had penetrated the final shield. Damn it. Urgh. We're not superior anymore. We don't feel special. Quick, form the Tea Party. We want our country back. You see, they have this sick need to feel special. It's like with the New Deal, which was a great thing. And they were fine with it until they realized that black folks get to start having access to the New Deal. Then it was a problem. Now they walk around the earth screaming, well, you don't want the government to do anything for you. They're happy for the government to do everything for their ass as long as your black ass don't get a damn thing. You see? They are the definition of hypocrisy. The definition, I proclaim. Let us go on.
And so you can feel special again, you'll be more than happy to drag us all back 70 years when our black brothers and sisters had to drink from separate water fountains, or back when if you were non-straight you had to stay in the closet. Personally, I'd like to go back to a time when assholes had to stay in the closet.
Amen.
And don't tell me, oh, don't be stupid. You're getting it all wrong. It's really about none of that. It's really about the economy. As if that excuses the behavior. You're willing to overlook all the other fascist rhetoric because all that's doing is showing your wives and your daughters and minorities and LGBTQ and other marginalized groups that you're completely willing to throw them under the bus as long as you can save 5 cents a gallon on gasoline.
I love that.
Did your stock portfolio get a bump yesterday? Well, good for you. Maybe you can sit offshore on your new boat and watch this country burn to the ground. The reality is that as a country, we have the opportunity to take the high road, to stand for something higher than our basest instincts, to stand for equality and fairness, to stand for the overall good of everyone. But over half of y'all kept us from taking it. And the whole world was watching. And you know who else was watching? Your non-white friends, your non-straight friends, your wives, your kids, your daughters. So to anyone who actually does claim to value those higher ideals, you know, the ones I mentioned earlier, the ones we were taught as kids in Sunday school. Yeah, Christians, remember Sunday school? If you claim to hold any of those same values, but are at the very same time enamored with Trump and perfectly pleased with the outcome of the election, me and millions like me deserve a fucking explanation.
Perfect. 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 And this, I would cite for you, everybody, is one of the rare, if they're out there, if high quotations, highlighted, underscored, bold, italicized, if there are good white people, it's like finding a four-leaf clover. And I think this guy might just be one of the four-leaf clovers. I leave you with this. No matter who the parties are, no matter what the conflict or their relationship to one another, whatever the dispute, there can never be reconciliation without acknowledgement. The Jedi has spoken.